Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my channel. Tonight we're going to take a look at the Farm Production Pack DLC, something that many of you are probably not super excited about, and I don't want to say for good reason, because there is some cool stuff here. Sadly, one of the biggest features so far isn't working, and I'm wondering if they're going to fix it. We'll go over that. But we're just going to take a real quick look and see what the different things are that the pack includes. The first and probably coolest thing that I found in the pack is this production warehouse. Now, when they showed pictures, they made it look like you'd be doing all kinds of different stuff here, including like loading trucks, unloading trucks, maybe storing things in this warehouse. Not the case. All this does is you bring your products to it. So let's say you're making, for example, wheat, and you go to the factory and pick it up and put it on your truck, and you bring it over here. Well, then you have your pallets on here, and they have to be unloaded into this warehouse, and it'll tell you where to do it. And I'll show you the mini game as I go, but we need to first get these all unfastened, which is gonna be a pain. But it tells you different places on the shelf to put your packages, and it gives you a lift truck to do it, and you have a certain amount of time depending on how many packages. So they give you about 2 minutes per package. So if you have 10 of these pallets, it gives you 10 minutes to unload them. I'm sorry, 20 minutes to unload them. So it might even be a little bit more than that, but it seems to be the rough estimate. So then they just disappear, and then you get paid the highest price on the map. That's kind of cool. I mean, so you do get the best price by bringing them here. You still need to wait. If I was going to do it, I would do it all at once and deliver it like in January when the prices are highest for most products. But you would get whatever the highest price offering on the map is. That is what you make when you sell it here. So it's kind of cool, but unfortunately you don't really store anything here. If you park pallets on a truck or pickup or whatever, anywhere in any of these marked zones, here, or there's one around the corner back over here, and then you come over here and click on the lift truck symbol, that will trigger the mini game where you have to unload the truck and put the items on the shelf. So that is the production warehouse. It is cool, but like I said, I really wish you could have actually stored things in here and come back and gotten them later. Like that would have been, along with the mini game, that would have been really neat, but it doesn't do that. So like maybe have like this zone be the place where you store it, or maybe, some of these be where you store and some of these be where you drop off, some of these where you pick up. There's no loading trucks either. So once again, you're just unloading trucks here. You're never going to load a truck. I do like the fact that they have the ramp and it matches our truck, so you can actually drive a lift truck into the back of or a forklift. I'm sorry, I call them lift trucks. It's that's because I'm ancient. That's what they used to call them 50 years ago. So this has that nice ability to drive into the back, and that's cool. Let's move on to the next thing. With the pack come a variety of sales points. These are different than your standard sales point. If you go and stand, this is the largest one here, and the size doesn't really matter. However, they take more things. So this one takes everything, the large one. The market will tell you what it needs, and here's the kind of interesting thing here with all of these little ones. This one today, it needs olive oil, sunflower oil, milk, raisins, flour, butter, canola oil, and lettuce. Now apparently that list will change as they have different demands. So that's pretty cool, and it's like fresh, so each day you're gonna have different things that they need. Over here, it's the same for all of these little ones. I think different days they'll need different things from what I understand. And you'll notice that there's washed parsnips, carrots, and potatoes on the list. Just be aware that the washer is currently not working. Hopefully they'll have that fixed by the time this releases, but as of right now, it's not working. There's a small vending machine. Like I said, from what I understand, these change on a per-day basis. I haven't had time to test it out, but that's the idea. Now, these are static. You have a bakery sales table, fresh produce sales table, and eggs and bread. Now this one's cool because it does support the latest DLC with the carrots and the parsnips and the beetroots and all that stuff. And then this one, of course, you have to have a bakery to do this. Or, I'm sorry, the dairy. Right? Oh, no, just eggs and bread. Yeah, you need to have the bakery to do this. Yeah. And this one. You need the bakery for both of these. Ugh. You'll notice if you listen real carefully, there's a market, like, fair sound going on in the background. Anyway. Next up, we have all these buildings. Most of these are just storage sheds for vehicles. Yeah. And they do have lights that operate. Sometimes I can get them on. Sometimes I can't. I'm not very good at this. It's not working. Oh, they're working. Okay, they're on. They all have lights. And they can change colors. Like, you have to pick the color when you're placing them. But you can see here, I've made this one dark green. Or brown almost. Or black almost, I mean. This one's light green. This is just a vehicle storage bay. Pretty cool. This is an even lighter green. You have vehicle storage, and I believe this is supposed to be like root crop or silage. You could probably do like hay, grass, straw, and then TMR. So you could use this with your cows, and then maybe keep the equipment that you're using to feed your cows and stuff in there. Another one of these. I don't know if I've ever seen if this is a European style thing with the weird overhang. But you drive out here, and then you can get in here. This might be root crop storage. It's definitely divided. And I know in England, they do dump their crops into buildings like this. So this might be a silo. I don't know. It's kind of weird. We'll come back to this in a second. More just storage here. This one, yeah. I really wish they wouldn't have put X's all over the front of this. I'm not sure why they did that, but... you can load up to 250 bales into this building. This one's kind of a split. It takes room for vehicles, and then over on this side it takes up, I think it's 250 pallets. Yeah. Box storage. Vehicle and box storage shed, yeah. And so you can put boxes in here. Oh, I bet you these are the boxes that you can do with veggies. So like vegetable storage. It may not take all pallets, but it definitely will take boxes. We'll have to test that at some point. I'll try to do that before the end of the video. Here we have a huge storage shed. And it does have a silo in it. This is probably for silage, I would imagine. Like a silage pit. And boy, this building would stink once you got that going. Woof. Over here we have just, I think, one more storage hut. We've already seen this one. Yeah, it's the back of that one. So let's head over here. In the middle, we have some fans. These are new. They cost about $75,000, and they pay a decent amount. Let's look in the shop. Yeah, these are $75,000 a piece, which, I mean, it's expensive, but it's not that expensive. And they make $6,800 or about $7,000 a month. So these will pay for themselves in just a little bit over a year. That's not bad. That's actually kind of cool. Much more affordable than the original one. Here we have a structure that kind of baffles me. Winter's Farm Motor Service. And this is going to be, obviously, a dealership or repair garage for farm equipment. It's fairly expensive, and I don't understand why you wouldn't have this on your farm. This would be a business that you operate. And so, interestingly, I don't believe, let me double check it, but I don't believe this has income. Yeah, it's considered a big vehicle workshop. There is no passive income with it. And to me, this should have passive income. Even if you bought this as a farmer and put this on your farm, this is a business you'd open up to other people, and they would come and you'd fix their tractors, or whoever is working for you would fix their tractors, and you'd get an income. Plus, you could bring your tractors here and get them fixed for free. So I don't understand why they didn't do that with this. It's a neat building, but why on earth would you spend the money to put this on your farm? Just use the small ones that, you know, or one of the mod ones that's portable. This doesn't make any sense to me, but it's cool. It just doesn't, it should give you money, and it doesn't. And that, to me, that's kind of a waste. Next up, we have these solar panels. They don't list them right. They list them at $3,000. I think that's per panel, but for example, this row was almost $100,000. So just because it says $3,000 doesn't mean it's going to be cheap when you lay it out. And then we have the cleaning robot. Let's see. There he goes. And this has gone through a couple months, so you can see the cleaning robot will supposedly clean these off. I don't know. He doesn't look like he's doing a very good job. But we'll let him do his work. And oh, look at this. I wonder if this is a real thing. I don't know. But you have that. So, yeah, solar sweep. He's going to clean that up. I don't see it happening, but maybe... Well, we'll wait a minute and see what happens. Yeah, he's done with this segment. They come in groups of 3, I think. I don't know. Oh, maybe 6. Nope, 3. It's not any cleaner. What the heck? Anyway, he's doing his job, I guess, but it's not looking great. All right, over here we have supposedly what's going to be the highlight, because it brings in some new crop types. You can take potatoes and any kind of vegetable, really, and wash it. So carrots, parsnips, what's the other one? Red beets, what we call beets. Also, sugar beets can be washed in here. You put some water in, and then you're supposed to dump stuff in. But the problem that we're having is that when you dump things in, it just gets stuck. It doesn't actually go into the bin. So you can have one or the other. I can either put potatoes in or I can put water in, but I can't put both in. And we've tried both ways. We tried putting the potatoes in first, and then we tried putting the water in first. But no matter what you do, it just doesn't work. It does nothing. So I'll show you here. But this is supposed to give you a pallet of washed vegetables, and then you can sell it at your dealer. So once again, this is early access. I would assume they're going to fix this before they release it, but... You know, yeah, this action cannot be performed here. This is exactly where this action is supposed to be performed. And you can see there's some potatoes down in there now, but they're not. It's not working. And it also has water. Let's see what we got. Yep, it's got water. So that is freaking annoying. So that doesn't work. And so I wish I could demo that for you, but I can't because it doesn't work. So next up is an interesting device here around the corner, and we have that beet shredder. And what that does is you put sugar beets in, and yeah, it takes a long time. It takes about 15 in-game minutes. And when you put the sugar beets in, rocks fall out the bottom, so you get a nice pile of rocks that you can shovel out, and a pile of sugar beets will fall on the ground. Now, you cannot or chopped, I should say chopped sugar beets. So it basically gets the stones out of the sugar beets, and it chops them up into little bits, which you guys can use to make sugar, and it makes a lot of sugar. You can also, I believe, feed it to the pigs as their source of food. But there you have it. So there's the sliced sugar beets. That's what comes out. That's the amount that came. I had 1 scoop that I put in of sugar beets, and this is what came out. It was 1 scoop. And then you also get this many rocks with a scoop. And then, like I said, it takes about 15 minutes to process. And you don't really get... I mean, you can only do so many at a time, so I don't know. It's probably realistic, but it is a little slow. And you can't put like a bucket truck under here and wait, or a trailer, and it dumps in the trailer. We found it just shows up on the ground. So that's kind of a bummer. Over here we have, and this works fairly well, we have a fertilizer maker. The way that this works is it takes the air from your cows. I've got 45 cows over here in a barn, and you got to place it near there. You bring in 2 pallets of ammonium, or sulfuric acid, I'm sorry, and they sit here, and it combines the poo-poo air with the sulfuric acid to make fertilizer. Each pallet of sulfuric acid makes 4,000 liters. So let me think about this. Does it make 8,000? I think it makes 8,000. Yeah, each pallet makes 8,000. So 2 of them should make 16,000. However, it only makes 4,000 a day. So and right now there's like 6,000 in there. So it kind of stinks. You gotta kind of work it. And each day you have to come out and make sure that everything's working. And we'll use it overnight. So when you go to bed, you wake up in the morning. Now, sulfuric acid is $800. Fertilizer, the same amount of fertilizer, is $3,200. So you're saving yourself about $2,200 for every load of fertilizer. And, you know, this unit cost $80,000, but at that rate, you'll pay it off. I mean, it'll take you probably a couple years to start making money with it, but it will pay for itself. So this one is probably worth using if you're going to get this pack. And it kind of adds a neat little side game. But I wish it made more per day, month, whatever, but that's what it does. So you're getting basically very inexpensive fertilizer and another way to get rid of the slurry for the animals. Plus, you can use it in all of the fertilization equipment. Instead of having to buy slurry stuff, you can use like a regular sprayer. This is full of the fertilizer that we made over here. So this works pretty well. So these two things work well. This does not work at all, the cleaner. Man, and I'm so bummed that it doesn't, because this is probably the neatest feature of the pack. All right, so that's it for the stuff that comes in the pack. Let's go ahead and I'll show you the mini game real quick here. We're going to do this. We want to deliver all the pallets to these time places. We have 5 minutes, and yeah, so exactly 2 minutes per pallet. So you got to be quick. And it's down here on this truck. And the downside is, and I don't think I ever undid the belts, so I'm not sure what happens if you fail. But you must be sad and have to cry. And so we'll lift this pallet, and you can see here. So if you like doing this kind of stuff, it's fun. The only thing I do wish they would have used the stand-up forklift, the small forklift, because this one it's really hard to turn this one in the aisle. Like, there's just not enough room to get it to, like, get the pallet on there nice and straight. It's very difficult. You can do it, but you have to, like, really finesse your way in. And in real life, I don't think you'd be using something this big, but there you go. So that counts. We got to grab the next one. You get the idea. There's an arrow over there. That's where the next one's going to go. Since I didn't release the belt, I got to do that. I hear the belt. I'm turning the lights on and off in the truck. Oh, no, I'm doing this. Hang on. Come on. I'm going to run out of time here. Oh, for Pete's sake. I have to go in the truck and do it. Anyway, you get the idea. So I just have to take that and move that over here. Yada, da, da, da. But what I do want to do is I want to take these pallets over to the warehouse and see what they do. So we're going to let that game go. I've always wanted to see what would happen if we run out of time, so we're going to find out. Because I'm going to move these over to our storage shed. Oh, for crying out loud. Why does stuff never work for video? All right, so we're going to take this over to our pallet barn. And I think this will just auto-load into the barn. But I don't know. We'll have to see. It's kind of a... Oh! All right, so let's see what happens when I push this in here. I don't know if I have to hand load it in or... In fact, let's open the side of the truck and see what happens. That's going to be that button. Yep. Yep, and they go into storage, so they took them. So you can store pallets, so that answers that question. So there you go. So that's pretty much the entirety of the pack. It's neat. I really wish the main thing worked. To me, the big disappointment was that the main event, which was the potato washer, doesn't work. I'm sure they'll fix it, but it's a little disappointing that it doesn't work. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this first look. And once again, is it worth it? I don't know. I mean, I probably would never use 90% of the things in this pack. I could see putting a distribution center in just for the fun of it, for like a series, because it's kind of a role-playing thing for me. And I like those kind of things in farm games. Like, the more you can do, the more I like it, because then it makes it seem a little bit more realistic. Some of these sale points, like I said, I could see putting in a fresh market, because it would drive you to grow different things. And I kind of like that idea. So these aren't a bad idea either. And some of them are affordable and fun to do. So I think that this is kind of neat. Once again, not the greatest thing ever, but neat. They're not bad. But once again, you can get these as mods too. Now, I don't know if they're at the same level, but this stuff's already kind of in game. So really, the potato washer is the cool thing, and I think that already has a mod too. So I'm not sure if you can get that for free or not, but there's some mod or something people were saying that is similar. So this is a tough one for me. It's not my favorite DLC. Once again, it's not a Giants DLC, so it's one of those aftermarket ones. I'm kind of shocked that they did this for their last one, though. Like, this is the last DLC for Farm Sim 22. I was hoping for something a little bit more spectacular, like, hey, you guys have wanted this Mahindra pack forever. Here's the Mahindra pack, like some little tractors for you, like an orchard tractor and a couple lawnmowers and, like just something different. But, I mean, I guess this is different in a way, but it is also kind of annoying. So I'm just a little frustrated that it wasn't more different. I don't know. It wasn't really what I wanted for a DLC, but I will use some of this stuff for sure. This building especially I really like, and it's cheap at $80,000. It's kind of a neat mini game. You'll be able to add it to a larger farm pretty affordably, and it'll make you some good money when you're selling stuff here, and you don't have to go all over the map. Instead, you can just work on bringing all your stuff from the farm to here, or from the production facilities around the map to this location. So that's kind of a fun. We have collected the pallets for you. Oh, I mean, I think we still made money, but they've hurt me. And for some reason, my farm is just bleeding money. I don't know why. But anyway, so you guys, I hope you enjoyed this video and you found it useful. Have a great night. Be sure to subscribe. Thumbs up always help. And we will see you next time on Farming Simulator 22. Bye.